This is Multiplaying, episode 43, recorded on September 3rd, 2010.
Everybody online, looking good.
A companion podcast to the collaborative blog and gaming community that's playing as life allows. This is Multiplaying.
Well, let's start the insanity.
We have clearance, Clarence. Roger, Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Hello?
Great heavens! What kind of radio show is this?
How's it going, people? This is Multiplaying. Welcome once again. Tonight on the show we have, as you've heard, Rare.
Hi.
There he is. John.
Hey.
Jason.
Hello.
And myself, Steve. Before I go on, I meant to actually talk about this beforehand. You could have just edited it wherever. But I had to share a Cobra story. A few weeks ago, we were talking about Jason.
Cobra Kai?
No, not Cobra Kai. Cobra like Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
The movie Cobra.
Yes,
that said that. Okay, remember that conversation about putting the picture of Cobra, the cover of Cobra, on the kid's birthday cake?
Yeah, my son wants that on his birthday cake. Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, I think I tweeted like the next day. In my house here, I was flipping through the TV, and I think on Spike or something, the movie was on.
Yes, yeah.
The movie was on the next day. So I'm sitting there watching it. Well, that's the funny part is that my parents were actually over to see the kids that day, and my mom and my daughter are out in the dining room at the table working on quote-unquote crafts. And they're sitting there. My dad went out, or I think actually my dad was sitting with me, but my wife was out there with them. And me and my dad are in the room adjacent, sitting there watching Cobra because all the kids are preoccupied, and it's a pretty nasty show.
Yeah.
It's nothing you really want to have the kid.
What do you mean?
Fun for the whole family.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was somewhat gory. But me and my dad are sitting there watching it. And it's like after the whole first sequence where the guy is in there with a shotgun in the grocery store, and after Sylvester Stallone goes in there and takes care of business, after he leaves, like they go to the next part and there's like this theme music sort of shit playing. And as this music's playing, my mom turns around in her seat from the other room and she goes, "Is that Cobra?"
And you just said, "Fuck yeah, it's Cobra."
I was dying laughing for like 2 minutes solid. And she goes, "What?" I go, "You know that this is Cobra from that?" And she was like, "Yeah, I love Cobra."
Yeah.
It's like you've never been cooler. But yeah, that was pretty awesome.
That's funny how, because my mom does some of the same things. Like every Christmas, like one of her favorite movies to watch is Die Hard, and and she really loves Long Kiss Goodnight, and like these weird ass movies that just you would never picture an older.
Hey man, Die Hard, Christmas in Hollis.
Oh yeah, we watch it every Christmas morning when Matt unwraps presents. Then we watch Cobra.
Blam blam blam. Merry Christmas. All right. Well, enough of the hijinks. Let's get into what we've been playing the past week or so. Rare, haven't been on the show for a while. Let's start with you. What have you been playing?
Still nothing interesting. I'm sorry. I still just been playing StarCraft 2, League of Legends,
That's
and a little bit of
interesting.
Borderlands. I mean, I guess it's interesting. And I have some stuff that I'll talk about after stuff that you talk about.
Oh, okay.
But,
Yeah. Coincides. So.
Well, actually, I can just go ahead and talk about League of Legends first if Paz doesn't mind. Because basically, there's this new champion, and if you play League of Legends, they have heroes, and they make a new one probably every 2 weeks or so. But the newest one is this female pirate, and Riot is kind of notorious for really endowing the female form, if you will.
All right.
Basically,
With guns.
Yeah, with guns, quote unquote. So she's got really big pistols, literally and figuratively, if you will. So basically, everyone wants to rename her Blunderbust instead of her name, but they haven't done it yet. It's rather depressing. But literally, her boobs are like the size of her head, and her pistols are like 3 times the size of her boobs.
Oh, now I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's like a double entendre there, and
it's
confusing.
Yeah. Okay.
But
basically, she does have 2 huge, big blunderbusses each in each hand, and I mean these things are like as big as her thighs. Like they're ridiculous.
What do you mean?
Okay, let me just go ahead and pull up some concept art here. Maybe I can help explain
for
that.
everybody listening.
yeah, totally.
Can we link these in the show notes? Because I don't think people will get these.
Dead air.
Are they coming? COMING?
Hot. Oh.
I know. They're not? Okay. Oh, here they come, people.
Confirmed she has breasts.
Oh, I get it now. That is one weird hat.
Yeah, that's what we're referring to.
The hat?
Yeah.
Yeah. And those guns.
Man, that dude behind her got shanked.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Big guns and a hat.
Confirmed.
And breasts.
Basically, we'll link it just because you're probably sitting there going, wow, this is a really interesting conversation. But yeah, basically,
I'm not going to link it. I'm just telling you right now.
Aw. Fine, I'll link it in the comments.
All right,
it will be linked.
Thank you.
And that's
So
about
you've been playing with those guns.
She's not out yet, but
Oh, she's not. Okay.
Oh, well.
she'll be coming out shortly.
Okay.
Probably next
She'll be
week.
coming out very short. Yeah, I mean, like by the time people actually get around to listening to this piece of crap show, she'll be out. So
Hey, piece of crap show.
Oh,
you call it a piece of crap show.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I thought it was much worse than that.
Yeah, I thought it was a whole bunch of crap.
No, we've been elevated to just piece of crap.
I was thinking we were a hunk of shit.
Yeah.
Piece of crap is way better.
Yeah, I agree.
Honestly, that's pretty much all I've been doing. And then once Slurms gets into StarCraft 2, I can get back into it. But I'll let him start because it's more
All
interesting.
Right. Don't want to talk about the Heroes of Might and Magic stuff now?
Do you want me to? Because it's basically just I hate Ubisoft.
Wow.
And I can explain why. Okay, so
Go for it.
all right. Okay, so just to start off, has anyone here played the third Heroes of Might and Magic made by 3DO? It's really old. Okay.
I think the third one was the last one I ever played.
Okay. Well, essentially, way back in time when 3DO still existed, they made the third Heroes of Might and Magic game, and they had the
Blue
balls-
box?
I don't even remember. All I know is I was a little kid. And basically they had the balls to say it was like Heroes of Might and Magic complete. And it really was. It was the perfect game. There were no flaws with it. They had a huge fan base. And then for whatever reason, 3DO got bought or it went under, something like that happened. And we've had a series of absolutely horrible games. Heroes of Might and Magic 4 people don't even talk about because it's that bad. Heroes of Might and Magic 5 is bearable. But then somehow Ubisoft got their hands on the IP of Heroes of Might and Magic, and now they've made an Asian MMO that's essentially free to win, and they had an open beta in the United States, but then after the beta, you can't play the game in the United States.
What?
So yeah, I know, right? They're like, oh, by the way, apparently you can't play this game in this country. And now they're making a new one. It's called Heroes of Might and Magic Nations, and I guess that's why you can't play this other one, because they want you to play Nations. But Nations, or Kingdoms rather, it's just this horrible browser game. So basically,
yeah, that's the one I linked to in the forums, right?
Yeah, and it's just like they slap the name Heroes of Might and Magic on there, and they're like, oh, you can be the same race as in all the cool games, but there's nothing from the original games that you like that's in this game. It's just got the name. Gosh. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying not to nerd rage at it because I get that some people will like that. It's a browser game, it's free, whatever. But
I didn't think it looked bad, but I didn't play it.
You just should even use the same IP. You shouldn't say it's Heroes of Might and
I see what
Magic.
you're saying.
Because it's not. There's nothing similar to it. Just say it's Heroes Kingdoms. Maybe it's like a knockoff of it. Great. But don't use my IP in a horrible way and just make it look even worse than it already is. Because we haven't had a good game since Heroes of Might and Magic 3.
And then the confusion sets in when they have another game, and they're calling it Might and Magic Heroes, right?
There's Heroes Might and Magic Online, Heroes Kingdoms, and then Might and Magic Heroes 6. Because they couldn't just make it Heroes of Might and Magic 6, because that just make way too much sense. But there's hope for 6. It actually looks good.
Yeah, the pictures I've seen of it look good.
Yeah, so I'm my fanboy is really hoping that 6 will make it, just be amazing like 3 was. But 4, 5, Online, and Kingdoms are just horrible.
Right.
And that
I think
makes me sick.
3 was the only one that I did play, and I really did enjoy it.
So I guess that kind of opens up a question to you guys. Do you guys have any IPs that have been sort of torn asunder by some developer, whether it be like a movie or a book series or something that's made into a crappy video game that left you disappointed?
Most of the Star Wars games post.
Star Wars is too easy.
Star Wars is pretty easy. It's a good question. Oh, I got one. Well, it's not based on anything though, but the Secret of Mana.
Oh yeah, those
Secret of Mana was fucking amazing, and then I actually still own Legend of Mana, and it's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Not trying to be Debbie Downer, it's just a curiosity
That's
thing.
a good question.
No, I'm gonna kill myself now. Oh God, life.
Do you know the one that it's not the same question I say, but makes me think? I wish there's an IP that I really, really liked. I loved in the Genesis that I wish there was something done with it. Is Road Rash? I wish there was some.
Yeah, I think 2 or 3 was pretty good, and then maybe it was 2. I think 1 and 2 were good, and then 3 it was kind of
Yeah, 2 was the best. 2 was awesome, and then 3 kind of sucked. And
3 they tried to add a lot of stuff to it, and it just really didn't work out.
yeah, but I mean that seems
like career mode-ish sort of stuff.
Yeah, I think though that's something that they could have easily rebooted by now, and there's always been room for them doing.
We have the technology. Where's my Road Rash?
Yeah, I want to whip some chains around some fools.
So does that make you think of any of the new MMOs like Warhammer 40K? Like, do you get that same feeling of this is going to be horrible, or do you think it's too early to call?
No, I'm actually kind of excited about Warhammer 40K.
Really?
Yeah. I'm cautiously optimistic about Warhammer 40K.
I'm that way about any game, but of the gameplay videos that I've seen, I'm more standoffish from it, from the fact that they came out and then directly compared themselves to WoW. Not that that's a bad thing to go after and say, hey, we want to be like the most popular IP, but come on, man, do your own thing. Just make your game and prove to me that it's good. Don't point and say, hey, I'm as good as these other games.
I'm really glad they disproved that one quote where one of the higher ups was like, "Oh yeah, you can't be a space marine." You remember that? And people were freaking. People were freaking out, and thank God that's been settled down. Yeah, but that was horrible. I mean, basically, in conclusion, I just really hate it when a producer like Ubisoft will take a really great IP, whether it be a book, a movie, whatever. Well, okay, like pretty much every movie game is shit, but you get the point. Something you really care about, and then they just use it to make a quick buck with like a browser game or an online game that you can't even play in your own damn country, whatever. I just really want a good Heroes game, so I'm hoping for Heroes 6. That's what I'm really looking forward to. We'll find out.
We'll hope for it. But while we're hoping, John.
Yes.
How's it going, John?
It's going pretty good.
What have you been playing?
A shit ton of Elemental. Holy crap, that game sucks time like nothing else.
Okay, you said time after that, and I was going to ask you if you still felt the same way as you did last week about it.
No. You're like, uh-oh. Oh, whew.
Yeah, well, because, last week you said you were enjoying it, and I was like, oh, now he's going to come in here and say that it's horrible. But everybody seems to be having some problems with it. What are your feelings of it now that you've vested more time in it?
Well, it's actually a crap ton more fun. I played it nonstop pretty much. Finished the campaign. It was, I want to say it was shorter than I thought it would be, but at the same time, typically campaigns for 4X games aren't very long story-wise because it's not the main draw.
Oh, I was about to say, because the campaign's not really even the main draw of the game, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not at all. Yeah. So, and in the campaign, you don't get a lot of the features and functions that you get in the regular normal gameplay. Like if you say, okay, I'm going to go up against all these, NPCs or go up with some friends and blah, blah, blah. So like you don't get to do like, there's no research trees. There's no like spell research trees and like all that stuff. And so the campaign was cool. It had a kind of a decent story and I was kind of excited to finish and I, killed the guy at the end and blah, blah, blah. And then I started a real game. And then I was like, oh my God, the whole campaign is a tutorial to this way expanded, like, because the, when you play regular mode, regular game, you have like with your tech research, you have I think there's like 6 different trees. You have military, civilization, like entertainment, diplomacy, magic, and I don't even know. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff, and you have to choose how you want to expand your empire, all that kind of things. It's crazy. And then the research trees have like a geometrically increasing time on how long it takes to research each level of it. So like every time you research one, it seems like the turns double. So like by the time you get like the 10th level of research or whatever, you're looking at like 60 turns before you get that next thing. So you're like, it almost forces you to go either a balanced kingdom or extremely focused. You can't really go with like a lot of this, some of this, a little bit of that. Like you could, but then you'll just screw yourself. Anyway, it's really good, really in depth. I didn't have a problem with kingdoms not kicking my ass. So I don't know if that was a patch like we talked about last time where
I didn't they weren't leaving the base and stuff, or the capital.
They seem to have patched it before I had an issue with that.
So how do you address? I mean, because everything that I've read about the game, it flies in the face of what you just said.
How do you mean?
Everything that I've read about the game is pretty much that it's broken.
Oh, I don't know.
Are you getting a lot of crashes or anything?
I get no crashes, none. I play for hours and hours and hours, and I just don't have a crash.
I've been playing a lot of it too. Not as much as you, but I don't have any real technical issues except when I alt-tab. As soon as I alt-tab and go back in, I crash a desktop. And one thing that they fixed through a patch that really annoyed me was when it came out, that it was patching every day. And,
it was patching a lot.
And my campaign saves for the first 2 or 3 patches were incompatible.
That annoyed me.
Yeah.
Yeah, luckily I wasn't very far, but...
Yeah, and in the end, I was okay with starting over because I wanted to kind of get an idea of how the game worked. But and they fixed it, and that was annoying. But I think I'm more on the same camp as you. There's something really very appealing to me about that game, and I realize that I can see why people don't like it, and I can see the problems that they have with it, and it's something probably about a lot of. I mean, there's so many issues being talked about with the game, technical wise, and also mishmash of features. But I like the mishmash of features. I like doing the more Civ type stuff, and then having the choice of doing combat that seems more like Hero Might and Magic type stuff, where it's more turn-based on a grid.
I like the grid turn-based stuff. That's pretty cool.
I do like that. And I like that I can just bust out magic from super far away, and some of these things like that is really cool to me.
You're just like, I'm all the way in the back. I think I'll just cast a fireball.
I'm just gonna use this on you. And I like how that uses up action points in lieu of turning. I think that's a really cool way to do it. But some of those things are making it, because when I play that type of game, especially, any Civ or that type of game, I want to be able to alt-tab and dick around and then go back to my turn, and it is frustrating. I hope they fix that, because all my stuff's up to date, and I hope it's something that is patched pretty quickly here. And I can see myself playing a long time doing that type of stuff. But
I haven't had any problems with alt-tabbing either. Like I dick around the time.
I didn't until about 4 days ago. So there was some patch that all of a sudden it did it for me, where now every single time I alt-tab. Because that first weekend, I was alt-tabbing like crazy because we were doing stuff around the house, and I was checking stuff, and I was just leaving it up and running, and I didn't have any of those issues.
Yeah, I love leaving, like, with the turn-based games, you just leave them on. You're just like, I'll be back in like 10 minutes, no big deal. Yeah, and then I'll end my turn after.
Yep, it's a great game, a great type of game to play while doing stuff. And those bugs, I'm really enjoying the game, but those bugs, as soon as I crash and all that, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go play Civilization 4 and think about Civilization 5 coming out. And that kind of, I'm afraid that's what's going to happen to this game once that game comes out. It's going to be too late.
It's going to get overshadowed.
Yeah, and because they're still trying to fix the game, and Brad and everyone over there are working on it, and they're going to keep supporting this game for the foreseeable future. But I hope it's not too late for them at that point.
Because right up next to it, you got like StarCraft 2 and stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of competition this year with RTSs.
And the way like Brad Wardell on their forums was putting it, which I thought was. He loves the game so much that he foresaw it as more of a competitor to those big RTSs than anybody else really saw it. I mean, one of the things that he even said in the forums was that for it to not be a better game than potentially Civ 5 or StarCraft 2 is a shame, and it's all their fault because he's putting the blame mostly on himself because he did a lot of the design of it.
Yeah, he blames himself for being too close to it.
Yeah, he saw it potentially to be better than anything else that came out as far as a strategy game was this year, and he points because it's not. He's pointing that blame back at himself, which I mean, you gotta love the guy for bucking up and saying.
Not many CEOs actually admit I fucked up.
Blame at himself, but I mean, and have already stated that. I mean, they are not going to release a game next year, which I'm not sure if they were even developing anything, but they have stated that everything for the next year of development is going to be working on Elemental and fixing it and making it what it should have been. So,
and they're even going so far as to like give out that first expansion for free.
Mm-hmm.
Just all those people who are disappointed. He's like, yeah, because we fucked up so much, we're just going to give this to you for free because we feel you deserve it. That's really stand up. I think you and I were both talking about on the forums how we almost just want to buy the game just because it's such a class act. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think I'm still going to keep playing, and I'm enjoying it. I think a lot like John. And once some of those issues are taken care of, especially the crashing the desktop, I really have a lot of fun with the game. And I haven't even gotten to the stuff that John's talking about. I've only done campaign stuff, and I remember Brad talking in a video segment before the game launched that he didn't see the campaign as really anything like, that's something if you have never played these type of games, go do, but the meat of the game is what John was talking about, that mode.
Yeah, like the whole campaign pretty much walks you through it. Like it's like go here, do this, you should take better weapons with you. It updates you every time something happens, like on a pop-up message that says like, oh, you've got new research you need to check out at your town before you move on to fight these dudes, in a lore type of way.
Yeah, it does keep it very contextual to the story that's going on. But the one thing I noticed going back, and I restarted Civilization 4, went through the tutorial of that, and that game explains things a lot better than Elemental, the campaign does. Because it
does.
Yeah, it's still really vague. The UI needs to be cleaned up. The UI needs to be expanded upon to let me know exactly what's going on. It was a big pain in the ass, and I'm not a huge strategy or 4X or any type of guy, but I could wrap my head around what the tutorial in Civilization 4 was telling me. And in Elemental, I had to really dig around the menus to figure out how to expand my city and what my turns were and all that type of stuff.
I think that was a huge. I could be reading everything wrong, but of what I have read of the hate towards the game, that is a huge part of the hate. Is that there's going back to the mishmash of ideas. There's so many ideas poured into this, and it does very little to explain any of it to you. Like what John's saying is, there is the campaign mode, which to him acted as a tutorial. It doesn't spell out that it is a tutorial. And to go beyond that, most people that buy start-out games never play that stuff because they realize that, like in Sins of a Solar Empire, when you pick that game up, the campaign mode is practically just there for people that want that to say there's a campaign mode on the box. Most of the people that play that game just straight up go into like the either the online or creating your own exhibition match or whatever the hell you want to call it.
That's what I did with Sins. When I booted Sins up, I went straight to a skirmish.
Yeah, exactly. A skirmish. Thank you. I mean, that's what most people I think are going into Elemental for. And then there's just so many things that aren't explained and aren't pointed out as to how to do anything in the game. And I think that's what a lot of people are bummed about. And then they get further down into the game when they finally are figuring stuff out. They're seeing a lot of like a lack of polish to stuff. And that's what people are really complaining about. And that's what Brad has come out and say, you know what? I mean, you're right, but there was nothing that holding off on the game would have helped because again, he's pointing the blame back at him saying, I was in love with the game so much that I wanted to get it out there.
Well, the other thing that I haven't read all those forums. I read one of Brad's posts, but is there a reason that the multiplayer is not active yet?
I don't know. I don't know
It's
if it's
not active.
No, I just checked today, and it still says,
Oh.
check back later. And it's like, well, your game launched over a week ago, and the multiplayer was a big selling point in it. I mean, that's the biggest selling point in it.
When you say multiplayer, do you mean like hot seat
No.
or like online?
Online.
General online
The
player.
modding stuff is open, and you can download modded maps, and you can work on some of those. They have a lot of pretty specific workshop and campaign mod tools available to you, but just the versus online stuff is not active yet.
I didn't even know that because I've been playing the regular
That's surprising.
stuff.
But yeah,
what was
I have. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like he kind of had not the same problem with the other game that they had made, the one with the mythical
Demigod?
Demigod.
They didn't make Demigod.
have.
though.
Yeah, Gas Powered Games made that, but they published it, yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind then. I was gonna say they had like a similar.
Yeah, they had launch
lot of
issues
issues.
with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I, like you, John, I'm really enjoying the game, and I'm going to keep playing it. And
Yeah.
I think it's a very flawed gem. I really do like it, but I can totally. And I think you asked me earlier, should I buy it right now? And I can't tell someone go buy this.
No,
Because-
you really can't. You can't say go buy it. It's just like I don't know. Like one of the things I thought was really cool was I was playing the regular game and I was like sitting there concentrating on expanding my city and researching and getting all my stuff. And all of a sudden I got like a diplomat come over and say, from another kingdom. And he was like, "Oh, you haven't made anything. Don't worry. I'll be here soon." And I was like, "What? Oh shit! I better make some dudes." And then before I could even get anything up, there was like shit coming in, and I was like, "Oh my god, what was I doing all this time?" Because
I
I
like
was
some dude just comes like, "Oh, you got shit. I'll be back with some buddies." A little bit.
yeah, like he literally like sent me a diplomatic message. Like the AI sent me a message that said, "Wow, you haven't even trained any peasants to tend your farms," or something like that. I don't know, something.
Fuckers don't even have pitchforks. Come on.
Yeah, like I was like purely technologically advancing, and like the civilization track. I was just like checking shit. I was like, "Oh, cool! I got universities." Sweet.
The jocks came and beat up your nerds.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I was just like, "Oh man," But I thought that was really cool that like.
Yeah.
They realized that I had no military, and they were just like, intellectuals. Let's go beat them up.
You guys are smart. We'll be back with weapons.
Yeah.
One of the things that I really do enjoy, which I can see why people think it's shallow in the current state it is the questing system in the campaign. I like how it will assign you that in relation to the story and say, okay, here's a quest that you need to do, and you can go complete it. It makes it feel more like a different type of game, but the way it's done in the campaign is pretty shallow. But what I do have a lot of hopes for, looking through some of the mod selections, are people's campaigns that they make come up with. So it kind of reminds me, hopefully, of something like Neverwinter Nights, where people make some really crazy ass stories with text and everything, where I can go get in there and mess around with it. So that's one thing I'm really looking forward to in the game.
Yeah, something to definitely look out for down the line. I think they'll fix it up enough to be a very worthy game to have in the library. So I'm personally still going to wait for a while and see what what happens with it.
And you probably should.
Yeah. The way I look at it is, I can't recommend anyone to go say, "Oh, go out and buy it," because it's just so awesome and you'll love it so much. But I don't regret buying it because
I don't either.
Yeah, it's like I really enjoy it now, and then I know, especially with the recent things that Brad has been saying, that they're going to be doing it the way it should and fixing it up, and
Sadly, I have spent $50 on games I've spent less time with than what I've already spent with Elemental. So.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
Would you say you're at the point where you wouldn't recommend it, but it wouldn't be a bad buy?
That's probably exactly where I'm at right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like an investment as long as they.
But don't get pissed at me if you go buy it and your shit crashes. Or whatever.
Honestly, I'm thinking I really might go buy it just because I really appreciate how stand-up Stardock has been with this whole
thing.
Thing.
They'll get it fixed.
So I think I might go support that. Anyway.
All right. Have you been playing anything else, John?
Yeah, a bit of EQ2X. I think we already kind of covered that pretty much to the extent that I've all played it.
Cool.
I got to like level 10, and I haven't logged on again, and a little bit of Lego Universe still. That's still pretty fun.
with EQ, wait, real quick, with EQ2X, do you think you're going to log on again?
I probably will. Since it's free, I mean, I got no reason not to. I have no reason to avoid it. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I'll log on from time to time probably and be like, oh, this is pretty cool. Or if you guys say, hey, I'm getting on EQ2X, I'll be like, all right, cool, let's go.
Cool. Right.
So it's one of those it's there, but I'm not going to dedicate specific time to it every day or anything. Mm-hmm. But I did remake my, my little swashbuckler and my berserker and stuff. So anyway,
awesome. But you said Lego Universe.
Lego Universe.
Is that NDA still up?
Ooh, actually, I don't know.
I don't really
but
care. I like that game.
I don't know, so I won't say anything about it. Okay. But it is fun.
Yeah, I will probably buy that game as a casual game to play.
Probably, I will too. Yeah. I'll probably buy it as well, even though I have no kids.
There you go.
I have one kid, but he's not allowed to play it.
Oh. And then a dash of Guild Wars 1 lately, which I've actually been enjoying.
Have you?
Yeah, I don't know how all the expansions work, but I couldn't find my old box. And somehow the account wasn't on my NCSoft Master account, so I don't know what happened there. And I was talking to one of my friends earlier that we were playing COH together back in the day, and he said he had the same problem, and he's tried contacting support, as did I, and he heard no response. And it's just he found his box finally. He entered the account key to upgrade it to his account. It said it's invalid. It doesn't say that it's used. It doesn't say that, whatever. It just says invalid completely.
I think the reason is the Guild Wars accounts were made before NCSoft did the whole NCSoft account thing.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that something happened. I don't know what. So what I did was I went and bought the trilogy on Steam. And because it's the cheapest way to get a big chunk of Guild Wars at one time. Mm-hmm. And I found on Newegg the Eye of the North one for $5 or $6.
Yeah, you can get that game for cheap if you shop around.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna mail order that. But yeah, I've actually been enjoying it. I remember playing it way back in original launch, very little, and I don't know what drew me away from it exactly. But I do appreciate it now more than I did then. I play it now, and I'm like, why didn't I play this before?
That's how I always feel playing Guild Wars. I always love it when I play, and then I think it's because it is free, and you take it for, I don't want to say you take it for granted, but you're not cognizant of, I have 13 more days before my account renews, so I need to play this. You just kind of drift away from it at times. But
there almost seems to be something about the game that doesn't quite make it as much of an MMO as other MMOs. That there's, I don't know how to put it. There's not a
the fact that you don't pay for it, maybe.
Well, no, it's a disconnect. I mean, it is the silly things you can't jump, and
there's a certain well, it's not even that. I can deal with not jumping. I didn't jump in Mass Effect, but there's a certain bit of non-persistence about it that just kind of makes me very, very casual about the game. I love it. That's great so far. I played it back when Factions came out. I think I had played the beta of it or whatever when it was back in the day, and I never really picked it up. And then when Factions came out, I checked it out, played it for a little while, and then right when the beta of Nightfall came up, I checked it out and then just stopped playing. And that was the last time I played. Now I'm, for some reason, enjoying it more than I did back then. So I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been around the block more, and now I understand. I kind of see. Okay, I appreciate this more.
And also a big part of it is that Guild Wars 2 looks badass.
That's probably a big part of it.
Yeah, Guild Wars 2 is kind of what got me again, re-interested in Guild Wars 1. Because I'm watching that, and I'm watching some of the Ranger clips in particular. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys have watched the Ranger stuff, but those people, the freaking Rangers, look like Jedi. I mean, holy crap! I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
the one
kidding,
I'm
man.
most looking forward to, and that was the first one I got to 20 in the first Guild Wars. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
I mean, I was watching one of the videos, and the ranger has like literally deflect back at its attacker, and I was like, wow, lightsabers, you know. And then there was another thing where he's just like jumping around behind him like a freaking force leap behind the person, and then backstabbing and all kinds of crazy junk. That I'm like, damn, are you sure he's not? This isn't Star Wars, like, you know, way back. But anyway, so I got a question actually for those who've been around the block, since I still I don't understand how the campaigns work. Like, I created a character, I guess, and for the ranger, and I'm doing the first campaign, I guess, Prophecies, but then I can't play that character in any other campaign?
No, you can, but you have to be able to get to a point where you can transport them there, which will be a higher level.
Oh.
So if you want help, I can help run you through the zones to where you get to the spot where you can do.
So it's getting to a travel point.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not so much a level, it's the travel point.
Yeah, which realistically will probably be like level 15-ish.
Yeah, okay. I just wasn't sure because, again, I only played the original Guild Wars where it was just that one campaign. So
yeah, I will, if I do not start in Nightfall, I will usually make a character and try my hardest to get to Nightfall. So I can, once you get to Nightfall, you can unlock the heroes, which are the persistent party members that you level up and do equipment and all that. And they make the game a lot easier and a lot more fun when you're solo.
Yeah, I like that depth.
Yeah, so if any of you need help getting to Nightfall and you're not at Nightfall, I can try to help you because I think 2 or 3 20s, and I can try to help you get there as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I could probably do some of that because I'm definitely getting into it. Like, I made a ranger, right? And since I don't really know, like, I mean, I like the way they do primary, secondary classes, but I have like no concept of what goes good together. So I made like a ranger necromancer.
That's what I have. That's the first one I made. They go awesome together. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I thought it would be so cool. I was like, yeah, I'd be like shooting bows and like sucking life out of people. That'd be awesome.
That's exactly what you're doing, and it is awesome. There aren't too many. They did a great job. There aren't too many classes that go horribly together. There are some that don't make a whole lot of sense, but that's one of the better ones.
Like necromancer monk or something.
And it's like,
yeah,
or
it's almost like
Paragon.
It's almost like you don't. Does it even seem to anybody else? And I have not played to the end game extent of it, but is it wrong for me to say that it doesn't even seem like you need like a fully balanced party, like trilogy type party of a healer, warrior, DPS? Because I've gone in there with just like a couple DPSs or a couple tanks and been absolutely fine.
No, later game you really do.
Oh really? Okay.
Shit gets real.
Okay.
Later, and I can have a fully max party. Like all my party members are max level, and the classic group. And there are some ones that they just can't hang it. Like I need actual real people. They do a great, and some of those party members at Nightfall do a great job of filling out their roles, but it gets tough. So to an extent that does work, but what you get to a point that some of that game is really hard.
Okay. I haven't experienced that yet.
Yeah. So we should probably move on.
Yeah.
That's what you're playing, John.
Oh, Dash Guild Wars. That's it. I mean, Guild Wars 1, and that pretty much ends it. I mean, nothing else special. That's Jason? The main one.
We covered a lot of them playing Elemental Guild Wars. I wanted to say one real quick thing about I got when I was on my trip in Disney, my son broke my iPhone again for the second time, and
you love him.
Yeah, sure. And I ended up upgrading to the new iPhone, and I played Mirror's Edge. Just came out the other day on iPhone, and oh my god, I love that game. Really? You would not think that game would translate well at all to the iPhone, iPod Touch, but it really, really does. And I guess it's been on iPad for a while, but it is a left to right side scroller where it uses very simple swipe commands. Like you do one swipe on the left side and she starts running. And I love Mirror's Edge on the console. I'm one of the few people who really, really like that game. It was very flawed, but I love the feeling of that game. And you do very quick, as you're running, you do really quick movements on the other side when you see stuff coming up. So if you see something you need to jump, you do like a little flip up, and she'll just keep running and do it in a very fluid, movement. And you'll see guys that are shooting at you, and you will swipe down to like slide into them and knock them down, and you just slide up on the screen, and she gets up and keeps running like without really missing a beat. And it seems really, there's even a mode on there called speed run. They're very short levels, and they do leaderboards that will post up to Facebook, and I think maybe Twitter. I haven't done it yet because my times suck. I'm not gonna put out there, I finished this in 8 minutes, can you do better? That's not what I want to do. But I think it's $5. There isn't a demo version right now. I kind of wish they had put one out, because I think that's the type of game that people wouldn't. Because $5 on the iPod or iPhone is kind of expensive. I wish they had put out a light version just to kind of show people that this actually does work and is fun. But I'm having a lot of fun. If you like the Cannibal type of game on iPhone, where it's just kind of running and jumping, and you don't really have to control it a ton, that you're just kind of there for the experience, and you don't mind dropping $5, definitely check it out. It's really, really good.
So it's a side-scroller port of Mirror's Edge?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's just left to right. 3D would not work at all with that type of game with the precision it needs, but it's just kind of like you're interacting with it at moments, but you're kind of on it for the ride. And when you just hit it right and you're just running and doing it correctly, it's a blast. So
cool.
That's about all I've been playing. I haven't been able to play much. We have a ton of housework stuff. My consoles have been unplugged while we're doing housework, and I haven't gotten to play any StarCraft or anything. Just Guild Wars, that, and cleaning house. That's about it.
All right. Well, cool. Somebody ask.
Hey, Steve.
Hey.
What the fuck you doing?
I don't know. Put my pants back on.
Hey, wait a second. What are we all drinking?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jesus, I suck at this.
I'm drinking Spaten, which
The hell is that?
is a German beer, and it kind of made me think of being at Disney at Epcot in the lands that we were just at a week or so ago.
Oh, yeah.
And
what was your favorite country?
Oh, God. Germany was awesome, and Italy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you say Germany. You say
Germany was my favorite.
Because
Shannon and I spent most of the day there. We had Matt go off with the family. If you go to Epcot, just go to the Worlds. It's just you can get hammered.
Yeah.
And
Right? Jen told you to stay in Germany.
yeah, that's kind of. We went there. I think kind of hovered towards there 3 times or so. France was really good. Italy was good. But what's great is they have snacks from every country.
Yeah.
And like beer, wine, margaritas in Mexico and stuff. And
yeah, but what was the best part of Germany, though?
you talking about the tubes?
No, the best part of the Germany part was I even had a picture of it sent to me of the heaping mound of bags of Haribo gummy bears.
Oh yeah, Shannon saw that, and she was so excited to rub it in your face. She was so excited.
Yeah. It was like heaven, man.
That picture didn't even really show all of it. It went all the way around.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I was there when I was a kid, and it was like that. It was heaven.
Did they just like? Did you see little Stevie walk in there, and then the next thing you see, just shoes dangling from the gummy bears as they had to pull you out?
Yes.
That's what I figured.
It was fantastic.
Just
came in with bags in my mouth.
Jason, next time you got to try and plan a trip around the Epcot Food and Wine Festival if you like the tasting of all the.
Yeah, that's what one of the guy who was helping us with our luggage told us that. He said they have bands there playing for free, and he said that's awesome. So
they got the bands. They have they set up like sort of lots of miniature cooking booths and with credit card machines and everything. So you would pay it's all for small portion stuff. So you pay like $1.50 or something like that, like $1.50, $2 for like each thing that you would get. And there's from what do they have, like 13 countries there now? They have
yeah,
they have
probably.
like
Maybe
75 or 100 countries throughout the Food and Wine Festival, or something crazy like that. It's insane. They put up booths everywhere. I mean, Jen and I tried to do all the countries in one day that were up. We could only get halfway around, and we had to go back the next day and do it again.
What really impressed me about that was it's so not like the rest of the Disney parks where it's the same type of park food. Like every country has legit like actual country type stuff.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So,
it's awesome. It's awesome.
we
So next time you come, you guys, we'll all go to the Food and Wine Festival. It'll be badass.
Yep.
Sweet.
That's what I've been drinking.
Welcome to Multiplaying Travel Agency Extraordinaire.
John, what are you drinking?
I was drinking a nice full glass of white wine called Evolution, which happens to be my wife's favorite. So, but that's about it. Just that. You know, I'm always with the wine.
Cool. Rare.
It's always wine or scotch, one or the other.
What you sipping on, Rare?
I am drinking Sunkiss, the classic.
Awesome.
And I also just bought Elemental, the classic.
You bought it?
I might have bought it while you guys were talking about Guild Wars, because I've never played Guild Wars and I have no input on that conversation. So, yeah.
Well, all right. And I am drinking pretty much nothing, but a little bit earlier ago, I did have a Tahitian treat, which I have not had since I was a fucking kid. It was great.
What the hell is that?
Tahitian treat?
Yeah.
Does nobody else here have Tahitian treat?
Oh, is that the red? Is that the fruit punch type of one?
It's a caffeine, and it's like a caffeine or what should I say, carbonated, excuse me, like a carbonated fruit punch. It tastes kind of like.
God, I haven't seen that forever. Where'd you get that at a Motel 6 vending machine?
No,
Christ.
Okay, here's the story though. It's actually going to be kind of an embarrassing story, but it's funny. So the other day, I went, and I'm sure this has happened to everybody, or maybe not. I got in the shower and I was doing my thing, washing up, and I did not have my usual bar soap. So, what does every man do when he runs out of bar soap? He uses his wife's body wash.
No,
With the loofah, with the sponge.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I always have to do when I run out of soap.
I don't do that, but whatever.
Shut up. Yeah, you do. I
use oil from the garage and wash myself in that. I'm a man.
Because I'm a man.
Then he uses Old Spice body wash.
So anyways, the wife's body wash that she bought on a whim, it's not what she usually even buys, is this like super fruity smelling stuff. She doesn't even like it. And I get out of the shower and I go into the other room, dressed of course, and I walk by her and she goes, "Did you use my body wash?" And like she could smell it from like halfway across the room. I was like, I just kind of smiled at her. She goes, you smell funny. I go, I smell like Tahitian treat. She's like, or maybe she said, I can't remember which one of us brought it up, but I was like, God, I haven't had Tahitian treat since I was a kid. I used to go to swimming lessons when I was a kid, and every time when I was done with my lesson, I used to go to the vending machine there and get a Tahitian treat.
The vending machine.
It's a vending machine.
It's always vending machines.
That's the only way that I ever saw the thing. And then so I had every fucking time I got done with swimming lessons, I had a Tahitian treat. And then I mentioned that to her. I was like, God, I want a Tahitian treat, something fierce. So I went to the grocery yesterday to pick up some stuff that we forgot from earlier in the week and looked all over the place.
I want to ask you, what would be funny is like, you should walk in the grocery store and the very first thing, like when the greeter's right there, like I'd love to just bust in and just immediately demand, like, where the hell's your Tahitian treat? Like, you didn't even look around. You just want to know right away as soon as you walk in.
They don't know how to answer those questions. Trust me. But yeah, I looked all over the place, did not find it. Today, we went to another grocery store because, again, we forgot something. And me and the wife were walking up the aisle before we went and picked up the kids from preschool. And we're walking through, we're picking up pop because it was on sale, and we're walking down the aisle, and I'm asking her about something else, and she points.
She's out of words. She can't even express.
She doesn't say, didn't say anything. She goes, she just pointed, and I look over, and I just go, oh my God! And they had fucking 12 packs of Tahitian treat.
Did it have like a thick layer of dust on it?
No, they just looked like they were just put there, and I was like, "Oh my God!"
Let me ask. Was it right next to the orange drink you got at soccer games?
No, God, I think it was next to the 7-Ups. I think, but yeah, it was
It
fantastic.
was right next to the RC colas.
Uh,
Next to the Shasta.
next to the Fanta.
Yeah.
The
To
Shasta.
the tab.
So yeah, that's what I've been drinking.
Oh, God bless you. I'm jealous.
All right, we'll get
So what have you
into.
been playing?
Oh shit!
You're just like, teach your treat. Forget video games. Teach your treat.
Yes. I highly suggest, since I am not the one editing this week, that Jason just puts it all up there.
Dude, this is our food and grocery episode.
Evidently, and Cobra. Anyways, Mario Galaxy 2 is what I've been playing because my daughter demands it and she loves it. I love it too. It's fantastic. So I've still been playing that. I have been playing not very much because I had not actually played since Sunday, and until today I actually played some Super Street Fighter 4. Had kind of like gave it a rest because I had a real super bad run on Sunday, and I was just like, fuck it, I gotta step away from the game for a while. And then I was actually on Kotaku the other day, and they had posted a link to a video and some pictures of Daigo Umehara, who is like the absolute best Super Street Fighter 4 player in the world. And it was actually a video of him showing you how to properly grip the stick. I mean fight stick. So I was like, I'll actually have to try that out. And it was actually somewhat helpful. I got back on there today and it went about 50-50 with my fight. So other than that, which nobody right now really cares about, StarCraft 2.
Did you finish the campaign?
I finished the campaign.
Oh, what'd you think?
Oh my gosh, that was pretty badass.
Don't talk about it. I haven't finished it.
I'm not going to talk about any specific.
No spoilers.
Yeah, it's still pretty early even just to mention it on the show because I'm sure there are listeners out there who have not finished it yet. But I will say the campaign just gets better and better. It was fantastic. I enjoyed the ending.
Let me ask you, because I know you like the Protoss. What do you think of the Protoss mini campaign? Because that's not a spoiler. That's there.
No, it's there. I'm not going to talk about the
but what'd you think
specifics of it. I enjoyed playing them, and I actually really enjoyed how that fit with the storyline. I was something that was when I heard that there was a Protoss mini campaign in there. I was like, how are they going to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's just okay. Now we go to the Protoss side, and it's not really
crazy.
like that.
Which would just completely kill any sense of.
It's not like that at all. It fits in fantastically. I loved it.
Yeah.
I working on a review to post on the site, but yeah, it's very good. I do have a couple qualms with it, but nothing super major, and I'm not going to get into them on here because, like I said, there are people that haven't played through it yet. So yeah, but it's good. I don't think I'm going to play it again.
You don't think
you're going to play it again?
Well, let me restate that. I thought right when I was done, I was like, you know what, it wouldn't be bad to go through the campaign again, but it's like, I don't think I'm going to play through the campaign again because, I don't know, I've experienced all those moments and they're so story driven that I can't see myself playing through it again.
I will tell you that you can, if you felt like playing the other side of whatever choices you made.
Yep.
It allows you to go into your mission map from whatever save you have. It doesn't matter.
But here's the thing. The choices that I made, I had no qualms with the choices that I made, and I really could care less about what the other side was like.
I was totally with you when I first beat it. I was like, I don't even want to see it. And there's a cow mooing in my background because my cat's playing with it. But like the other options, which I won't spoiler, let's just say they're really, really depressing, but they make you appreciate the first choice you made so much more. Like, I would recommend playing it just for the sake of playing it. Plus, the maps that those diverging storylines are on are actually really, really fun. And playing them on Brutal is like cutting yourself with jaded glass.
See, I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
Makes me really sad.
terrible.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to do that.
I'm actually doing it right now, and I gotta say, it gives honestly,
the cutting yourself.
Yeah, really?
No,
Like at this moment?
Yes, at this current moment, I am bleeding out of the wrists. No, but I'm doing the campaign on Brutal right now, and it really makes you feel like a sense of accomplishment, even just beating one level. You're just like, I did it! I finally did it!
Because it definitely, like, the last couple missions definitely got harder, and it was at the point, like, the very last mission was hard to the point where I was like, I don't know if I could see doing this on brutal. So I don't think that I'm going to go back through and do that even on a harder difficulty. I enjoyed it. I don't know if I need to go back again. I want to go back and play some multiplayer. I have not touched multiplayer yet, but I'm going to wait for a while and then revisit it, like, when I get the urge to. So yeah, I thought it was fantastic though.
The guy who did my floors wants to play me in StarCraft 2.
Really?
Just
Wipe the
throwing that out
floor
there.
with them.
Yeah.
I actually have two perfect segues. I'll start with the multiplayer first because this is what I was going to talk about, but I wanted Steve to get his campaign stuff done first. Just a couple custom maps. For those of you who play StarCraft 2 and you're not good, and you know you're not good, and you're not trying to be like, super pro Asian 300 actions per second or minute rather, but there are some maps that are actually really fun. They're not that skill intensive, but they're just plain fun. And just to list a couple, it would be Infernal Arena, which is basically there's 1 versus 1 versus 1 all on the same map, and if you win your lane, you can go and help your friends. So it's kind of it's like there's a whole meta game of like teamwork, and it's a lot of that one is a little bit more skill intensive, but that one's a lot of fun, especially if you're dicking around with friends. Have any of you guys played the Warcraft 3 custom maps at all?
No.
Okay, well, basically, there's a Civ Wars port that was put on Warcraft 3 where it's kind of like League of Legends, where it's like 3 lanes, and there's the same kind of deal with that in StarCraft 2. It's called Colonial Wars. That's not skill intensive. It's really fun, and you only need 3 people to play that game. And then one more is Desert. What is it, Paz? Is it Desert Strike?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's Desert Strike, and that's a tug of war map where it's, again, 3v3, and the units spawn on their own. All the micro is done on their own. Like, Protoss units will blink from one area to another, or they'll use their abilities at the perfect time. You don't have to worry about any of that micromanagement stuff. All you have to do is build whatever units you want in an attempt to destroy your opponent's base, because all the units will spawn and do the complicated stuff on their own. So it's basically... Cool. It sounds dumbed down, but it's actually a lot of fun. So
because it's composition wars. It's like, oh shit, he built some of those, so now I need to get some of this out.
Like, oh, he's got siege tanks, so I should build like carriers or something like that. You know what I mean?
At the same time, if you're building the siege tanks and you counted on him building the carriers ahead of time, and you were already queuing up some other shit, then it's basically like a thinking version of StarCraft 2 without having to worry about the micro.
And
so it's ruse.
It's not that complicated as Ruse. Ruse is really heavy-handed, whereas this is more like since it's a custom game, they've modded some things where each race has one nuke they can use. So you have your oh shit button, and then you have your like super ultimate race ability, like the Terrans rain nukes across the entire planet. Like, to quote Tack, it's just like nuke that ship from orbit. And then you have the Protoss who mind control all your opponent's enemies, and then there's Zerg who just infests the entire map and basically kill everything. So there's a lot of different strategies you can go. Like, you can invest in your ultimate, or you can make more units, or you can just use your oh shit button and hope you kill them before they recover. There's all sorts of crazy stuff. It's not that skill intensive. It's a lot of fun. So Desert Strike, Colonial Wars, and Infernal Arena. If you play StarCraft 2, I would highly recommend those 3 custom maps if you're looking for some fun.
Those might be more up my alley, because I think I mentioned it on a previous episode that to mirror something that was said by, I think it was Jeff Gershman on Giant Bomb, that it's like that's not a game that I can see myself devoting the kind of time that is needed to be better at it. I enjoy devoting the time that I'm devoting to like Street Fighter right now, but I can't see devoting that same time to StarCraft. I don't know.
Yeah, it should be said too. Like, Rare, you're talking about all these mods, and if you talk about them, it sometimes it's lost on people that don't know that the StarCraft map editor and the custom maps, they don't necessarily all play like an RTS. Some of them play like some of them play like isometric shooters. Some of them play like even third-person shooters. Some of
tower defenses,
tower defense games. Yeah, the amount of flexibility that Blizzard gave the map editor is incredible. I mean, you can make it into any game pretty much that you want. There was a video, I don't know if I brought it up before, or if we have talked about it before, that someone was making a third-person shooter, like an action shooter version of a map. It's basically like a zombie survival type thing.
I saw that. It looks awesome.
That looks amazing. It looks like an MMO. Or like a high-quality third-person action game where you're fighting shit tons of Zerg spawning up out of everywhere, and stuff like that. But it's just done with the StarCraft 2 map editor and the technology that StarCraft 2 has. And it's really impressive what they did. And Blizzard put in all of this money into putting this map editor that they said, you know what, we're going to give them a tool that they can make whatever they want. And it's
a lot of this talk lately about these type of mods, and I don't really know why, but they really make me think I want to play some Alien Swarm.
Yeah,
away from that. Like,
I was having that thought process too. I don't know why.
Yeah, we should play that. We should do a multiplaying night.
We should.
Yes. All right. Well, next episode we'll lay down a night to do that. So
sounds good.
Awesome. So only one person is invited because there's 3 of us on here that want to play.
But if you're that, you might be that lucky person.
So it's a contest.
You have to do all the work.
Yeah.
You have to lock the doors.
And we're going to make you play the healer, and we're just going to run in fighting everything.
Yep. We're going to get infested.
He has to be the tech. Whoever comes has to hack everything.
All right. Well, yeah. Want to get into massively multiplayer? Not much on the MMO front this week as far as news, unless I really missed something. But the one that stuck out... Huh?
I said, no, there really wasn't.
Yeah, the one that kind of stuck out to me that everybody's talked about, at least on the Twitters, Final Fantasy XIV. The open beta has started, and in the doc I made sure to call it open-ish beta, because it seems like they've actually limited the number of codes. As the last that I read, at least, it could have changed by the time you hear this. They limited the number of codes that they were sending out because their servers were super congested. I think there's still people having problems downloading the game. It keeps getting hung up.
Yeah, at like 99.5%.
Yeah, so good luck to you people that are trying to get the game. It really sucks. I mean, I don't know how to put it, but for the Americans trying to play the game right now, this is Labor Day weekend. A lot of these people are planning on playing, like hanging out and playing some games, and it's kind of a bummer. Yeah, it's free, so they can't complain too much, but it's kind of a bummer to say, yeah, I was getting excited to check this game out and devote some time to it this weekend, and now you can't. So kind of a bummer, but you'll get over it. But other than that, Star Wars The Old Republic, more official reveal. Yes, John has the news.
Sort of. It's not really like news. It sort of goes, they put up like a new article and a section with the space combat stuff. They put up the same video teaser that they had. They gave it some more text and put up a couple screenshots and stuff. It's just sort of like like I said, it's not really news, but they put up a note section that they're going to be updating over the course of time with more details. And throughout the video, I don't know if anyone noticed while they were watching it, but they showed almost all of the ships that they haven't announced.
Oh, nice.
So like you could pretty much guess which ship the smuggler is because it looks a lot like the Millennium Falcon, and you can guess which one the infiltrator has because it looks all sleek and pointy and weird. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I don't know. I just, if you watch that video again, you realize, hey, almost none of those ships are the actual ones they've announced. So it's for someone that is paying attention to like those kind of details. Like I've watched it a couple times. First time I was like, wow, that looks cool. The second time I was like paying attention to stuff in the background. Third time I was like, wait a second, those ships aren't the ones interesting. Yeah. Anyway. So cool. And it's only like a minute-long video, so.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to announce anything. And PAX is going on right now, so I'm wondering if they're going to announce anything there. Yeah. Don't know. Some people are, but we'll get into that later. The last thing that just kind of got updated right before we were getting ready to do the podcast is another MMO on the horizon called Firefall. Looks to be very global agenda-ish, but kind of looks
mixed with a Borderlands flair.
Yeah, it looks more like Borderlands, but it looks like it plays like Tribes because correct me if I'm wrong, Rare Tribes people helped make it.
Yes, the guy who made Tribes is making Firefall, and we literally just watched this video, so we really don't have any specifics, but it's cell shaded for a free to play game. It looks freaking beautiful.
Yeah, I want to know what their quote unquote free to play, if it's by the box or.
I think it's going to be a cash store kind of thing from what Joystick was talking about. That's what it's looking like. But, I mean, we literally only just saw a video, but it looks awesome. So
I imagine either Rare or myself will probably make a post about this and link a video. So I'm very, very interested because it does look damn good. But more on that later. Pay attention to the site, people. In other news, we have, PAX is going on, and there's been a few bits of news come out of it, and actually something that came out before PAX that I wanted to touch on. Kind of some what the fucks. The first one that I saw just today was a new game by Telltale called Poker Night at the Inventory. There's been some rumor going around the last day or so that there was going to be a game mixing Team Fortress 2's Heavy, Tycho from Penny Arcade, Strong Bad, and Max from Sam & Max. And then it finally came out today that they're actually all going to be in a poker game made by Telltale.
On sale on Steam, $4.
It is already on sale?
No.
Yep. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. You can pre-purchase it for $4.
Yeah.
Okay. When is the release of it, though?
It says fall 2010.
Okay.
Is it $4 or $5?
It's like $4.49 right now. So it's like 50% off
if you pre-purchase it.
Yeah, still, it's the Heavy in a poker game. I'm probably going to buy it.
I think this is great. I know there's a lot of people who are like, this is dumb. This is not what I was expecting from that teaser. But I think this is really cool. This is just a silly, stupid.
This is just pure PAX. This is awesome.
Yeah. I love it. It's definitely very what the fuck because I was not expecting that. And
you know what's weird? I didn't even realize. I saw on, it might have been Joystick or something, that Telltale's first game was Telltale Poker in forever ago. That was the first game they published. So
did not know that.
A poker game. So yeah.
Cool. The bigger of the three what the fucks that I have is. Oh God, I don't know even know if I can say it. There's been rumor going around about this for at least a couple weeks now. Gearbox and publisher 2K Games. Gearbox, makers of Borderlands, is finishing Duke Nukem Forever, and it will hopefully be out next year.
Yeah, that'll come out next year. Now that a real developer's making it, it's going to come
probably.
out. Yeah.
And again, this is another correct me if I'm wrong moment, but and I believe I heard it from another podcast that aren't these. There's some people that work with Gearbox that were with 3D Realms when they originally made Duke Nukem 3D, if I remember correctly. So we could actually see Duke Nukem Forever. That's wow. What the fuck?
It'll be out. That will come out, and that'll be weird.
And they're like throwing out some stuff at PAX for that, man. Seeing the screenshots of it, there's like Randy Pitchford's there to talk about it and everything. It's amazing. They said that they're basically. The amazing part, I almost forgot. The amazing part to me was that they said they picked it up in 2009.
Yeah, that's
it's like as all this shit was going down, like they seem like they have had it for a while and have kept it under wraps this long.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, because that 3D Realms. Remember the story I was reading when that whole shit happened, where they went out of business. Everything that was May 2009, so they must have grabbed it really quickly. Yeah, and it's crazy that they were. It always really amazes me because there's so many leaks in video games. Mm-hmm. But those are usually leading up to shows. Like a lot of times the spoilers will be, of E3, at press conferences will be leaked. But it really does amaze me for how big development teams are on video games that things like this can stay secret. And no one knows. Because even the video game journalists talking in podcasts and things, they didn't know that this was coming. No. And
it was we finally heard anything about this a week or two ago?
Yeah, a week ago. Yeah, and like you said, they got it in 2009. That's crazy.
They said they're in the polish stage right now. That's just, I read that and I was like, what?
That's crazy. Yeah, to read Duke Nukem polish stage is like completely ridiculous. But
that is so crazy. But what bums me out about it though is that it's not totally a Gearbox game. That it's gonna, like, if it comes out and it sucks, which it probably doesn't. If they were looking at the game and said, "Yo, this sucks, we're gonna have to start over," they would have. So it probably is actually at least a decent game for them to look at it and go, "Yeah, this we can put our name on."
I don't think there's any real downside to Gearbox, because if it comes out and sucks, it's like, hey, we just finished it. And if it comes out and it's a lot of people like it and it's goofy fun, they get the credit.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah.
Go Gearbox. Anyways, the last of the what the fucks is Back to Telltale and Back to the Future. Back to the Future, the game that they are making, which is a point-and-click adventure, if I remember correctly, is going to actually have the voice of Doc Brown.
Marty!
Yes, Christopher Lloyd is playing Doc Brown in the Telltale Back to the Future game.
That's awesome.
The best news that I had read in a long time. God, that was great. Cannot wait to hear new lines of Doc Brown. That is,
and if you haven't seen the clip from Back to the Future 3, go to the message boards and check it out. I can't believe that shit's real, and none of us ever noticed that.
I have never noticed it. Just a brief summary. In Back to the Future 3, the very end, when Doc Brown comes back to the future on the big flux capacitor to train, there is a child of his. He has two children, Jules and Vern, and I believe it's Vern, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, of course it's Vern. Vern's always doing crazy
Vern's
shit.
A douchebag. Vern is, the two kids are standing behind him as he's kneeling down talking to Marty, and the boy that's playing Vern makes this weird motion with his hand and then points to his dick.
Yeah, he's basically telling Elizabeth Shue to get on her knees and get on it.
I think so, maybe. Well, that's what I would be doing. Adventures in babysitting.
Well, we need.
Anyways,
that's what.
So Slurms, where could they find that video?
On the forums. Go to the forums. Go check it out. We'll link to it.
Multiplaying.net forums.
Yeah, check
Random
it out.
stuff on the internet.
Not slash forums. Go to the forums link. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Don't try to type that in because it's not going to work. But yes, that is all I had with that. And this week, we have a fucking site of the week. Can you believe it?
Is it naughtyamerica.com?
No.
That is a great site.
Next week, you're giving it away.
All right, sorry. That's all mine. Don't look at that until next week.
Actually, yeah, Level Capped is our site of the week. Go check him out at levelcapped.com. Do it today. It's actually a guy that I follow on Twitter, Scopeek. I think I pronounced that right. Hopefully, I don't know if he listens to the podcast, but Scopeek. And I actually linked to his Twitter account on there. Mostly talks about MMOs. Believe he's playing. I don't know if he's currently playing Star Trek Online, but he was playing Star Trek Online. World of Warcraft. He's played a lot of MMOs, and it's a very good read, very well written. So check it out. And don't forget to follow us on our Steam group. I have not checked today, but the last time I checked, we were at 99 Steam group users. You could be number 100. You don't win anything for that, but you could be number 100. Go to steamcommunity.com/group/multiplayingnet, no dot, and enjoy. Follow us and beware.
So speaking of winning stuff.
Yes.
Speaking of winning stuff. The other thing you forgot, like last episode.
I'm doing horrible today, man. It's because I'm tired. Let me get the names real quick.
You gonna put them in the Tumblr?
Here, hold on. I gotta pull up a random number generator
you gotta here. You gotta spin the names in the Tumblr.
I don't know what sound to make for that. I don't know. Bingo. And speaking of winning stuff, have fun editing this. By the way,
I'm gonna slap it together. This is it.
That's what I do.
Basically, he's gonna say save, upload.
Yep, exactly.
That's what I do. And speaking of winning stuff, we had a Borderlands contest that we announced last week, and we had a pretty good number of people come out to the forums and put their names in the hopper, which is an electron hopper, I guess you want to call it. They put their names in there. And we have a winner. Pausing. I need someone to randomly give me a number.
6.
It was Paz.
6.
Just kidding.
You put the names in a random order, right? Not the order that they posted in?
Huh?
Never mind.
Well, it's very scientific, people. Just hold on. We're completing science experiments.
There's papers.
Yeah.
Putting in our local supercomputer. The answer is 42.
No, it's not.
Oh, people are in such suspense right now. If you're one of the 8 people.
Don't post all this.
No, it's going like this.
No, it's just going up.
This is all going in.
Save as, upload.
We are authentic on this show.
Just random side note, by the way. Did you guys know that Gearbox co-developed a whole crap ton of Half-Life stuff as well as Halo?
Yep, they did.
I did know that, actually.
They did some Half-Life ports, and they did
Halo, Counter-Strike.
Halo for the PC. Yep.
They
somebody else give me a number.
And Counter-Strike to Condition Zero.
We want a single digit or a double digit or what?
Single.
Single? 3.
7.
Go with 3. 3 is way better than 7. Come on.
Going with 3.
Yeah, I have to agree. 3 is better.
Okay. Randomly generated by Deep Blue, our supercomputer on staff, Destroyed is the winner of our Borderlands contest. So Destroyed will be getting an email, and we'll be getting your Steam name hooked up. Yay!
Hooray!
And you can thank Rare.
You do have to
'cause
pay
he was the one-
taxes on the prize. It's kind of like Price is Right.
You have to pay me 3 different, separate payments of $59.99.
It's like when you win a car, you know?
Yeah.
They never tell you about having to pay
ULA
taxes.
and
Sell the car
terms
to pay the
service.
taxes. Yeah.
Damn you, Price is Right.
I remember my world was shattered when I realized that happened. Like, if you win that grand prize showcase or whatever, you got to pay taxes on all that shit.
That's horrible.
So it's basically like I'm winning and you're handing me a bill at the end of the day. I'm winning a bill, an invoice.
Yep.
Damn, Skippy. Well, all right. I think that's all we got. I don't think there's any. Reviews or anything. Nobody loves this.
Don't review this, people.
Yeah.
We know it sucks. Don't go review it.
No need to waste your precious
Don't tell
energy.
us it sucks. I mean, we've sat through this too, people.
Definitely don't go
Listen
on
to
iTunes.
Yeah. So, okay, see, the difference is you just listen to it once. I have to listen to this multiple times. So, I mean, you should.
So are your ears like bleeding?
Yeah, it will be by tomorrow. Come on, people.
It's unfortunate.
Feel bad for us.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
That's a good ending, yeah.
Wow, awesome.
Fade to black.
Well, gentlemen, no point in hanging around this dump any longer.
Wait! Where are you going? I was going to make espresso.
Show's over, folks.
You can't go! All the plants are going to die.
Take off, eh?
Thanks for listening to Multiplaying, the companion podcast at multiplaying.net. Questions, comments, feedback, errors, etc. can be sent to multiplaying@gmail.com. We invite you to write a review on iTunes and visit our website at www.multiplaying.net.
We've made a lot of friends, shared a lot of laughs, often at the expense of others.
I think some people are going to be upset.
Let me just close this conversation by saying you are one unique individual.
Thank you and good night.